All right, let's do it. Let's talk about life. Are you ready for this? Life is so cool, but so many times we're moving so fast we don't even know how we're living. And hence the game of life, cards. And it's so fun because these cards truly can help put things into perspective for you. Hey, it's Rolinda. I'm a professional artist and I am also the facilitator and the creator of the Reboot Club. And we talk about the honeybee as we learn how to live and reboot in our own worlds and in our own life. So let's talk about the honeybee for a second. When a honeybee begins her role as a forager, meaning she goes out to the flowers, gathers the nectar and the pollen, and comes back to the hive. Before she starts traveling far from the hive, getting lost, she does what's called an orientation flight. Back and forth in front of the hive, back and forth, kind of getting her bearings of where the hive is, where the entrance of the hive is, what the world looks like outside, because this is her big debut to living outside of the hive, having her job, her role of society in the hive, outside of the hive. This is a big deal. She'll get lost. She'll get lost if she doesn't take those orientation flights back and forth, back and forth. So this is the thing. Our lives are changing all the time. New roles come into our world, new opportunities. We discover that we had a talent that was dormant. All sorts of things can change. How do we take that orientation flight before we head out and go figure it all out? And we do that through life cards. Yes, okay, this is really, really cool. I talked about it in the last video when I talked about how to truly be alive using that treasure map to map out a past year, but using these cards to try to figure out where you want to go for the future. So let me tell you a little bit more about life cards. Life cards are incredibly special. They allow you to truly put your life on the table and take a look at it and get it organized and figure it out. Who wants to have their life figured out? I do. And that's where life cards came about. I actually had a friend and I was telling her about all of my big dreams and ideas, and she asked me some very pointed questions about why. Why did I want to do those very specific things? And the truth was, I didn't know why. And it honestly, it kind of disturbed me because I was making some really big choices without understanding why. This is so important. When we figure out the why, the how will sort itself out. I have seen it time and time again. So what I ended up doing after that conversation, which honestly rocked my mind, not in a great way, it disturbed me. It disturbed me. I went and got out my index cards and I started writing down my dreams, the different tasks that I do every day, the way I spend my time, my what ifs, and the different jobs that I have. And all of a sudden, things started to click a little bit. I started really evaluating how I was spending my energy and my time. Was it really something that I wanted to do? Which leads to the second part. So that first part is those dreams, those jobs that you're doing, how you're spending your time and energy, and also the what ifs. It's a little bit different than a dream. I'm not talking goals. This is not about goals. And thank you, Amy in the Reboot Club. She has been working on her life cards and she's like, I loved, Rolinda, that you didn't tell us to write down our goals. This is not about goals. These are not goal cards. These are life cards. This is how you want to design your life. Dreams. what ifs and what ares. What are you doing right now? Once you get that first line right here filled out with those dreams, what ifs, what ares, and how you're spending your time and energy, the very next thing you have to do is you have to give it a score. Rate it from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being to the highest. How much do you love that dream, that what if, that what is? How do you love how much you're spending your time in that particular task of your life? Now, this is the important part. Do not, are you listening? Can't believe I'm telling you this. Do not use a pen. Do not use a pen to write that score. Use a pencil, because this is the thing that I learned. That score fluctuates dramatically. Sometimes a dream becomes a nightmare. Sometimes a way that you're spending your time you might absolutely love in the moment, and then something shifts and changes, and all of a sudden, it's gone flat. It's time to move on. Write that score 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, to how much it sparks life into you. How much does it make you feel alive when you're spending your time on that dream, on that what if, on that what is time factor? Okay, now this is the next part. This big blank part, you're kind of wondering what goes on down there. Well, we're going to talk about that in the Reboot Club, and I would love for you to join us. We have so much fun. What's amazing about the Reboot Club, this is a place where we have a safe environment to co-create the dream life that we all want, and that is to be alive, to be fully rebooted and alive. So stay tuned. Maybe in the next video I'll talk about this one. See ya.